Nathaniel Hackett's completely lost this locker room. It's like Russ has lost the team. The ownership has lost the team because they signed this dude to a 5-year deal without even seeing him play, giving him max money. $240 million is what they owe him from now on out. And then Nathaniel Hackett on the sideline always looks like he's smirking that he let out a fart silently when he walked by someone.
Yeah, no, Nathaniel Hackett's lost it. And I mean, we saw that big outburst from one of the defensive linemen last week. And I don't think it's going to be the end of outbursts. I mean, if they continue to struggle, if Russ is going to continue to put up 10 points every week, good luck. This team's going to erupt.
Yeah, it's going to erupt, especially because if you have a good defense, the number one killer for a really good defense is a bad quarterback. And then Russ has, frankly, played worse than Blake Bortles did when he was in Jacksonville.
And not only that, Blake Bortles is a cool guy. Russ is one of the cringiest players to ever play the game. You think, imagine you're putting up, you're containing teams to 10 points a game, and your offense can't score 10 points a game. They're rocking out with the Broncos. Let's ride. You don't think that pisses you off?
Broncos
imagine
country. Let's ride.
Imagine you're Patrick Surtain, right? And you just shut down, I don't know, insert number one receiver on any given team, right? In this case, Devin Duvernay, right? Or, Matt, whoever it would be. And you contain them. You get off the field and Russ is pumping the Broncos country. Let's ride. And you hear that consistently every day in practice, every game for the last 11 weeks of the season. And now entering into your 12th game. You don't think at one point you start to burst out? I mean, that shit was annoying in week 1. Imagine how annoying it is now.
Yeah.
When you don't even have your first round pick. That goes to the Seahawks, and you're just playing one of the worst football in all of football. No, there's going to be more outbursts, and I predict more outbursts in this game.
Is there any other Pro Bowl caliber quarterback that NFL players, uniformly would feel okay mocking in public? Like, I get in the playoffs if they're mocking a quarterback or something, but usually it's not to the extent that we've seen Russ. And I think it's kind of weird that we've seen players kind of decide it's just okay to mock Russell Wilson, and we've kind of seen a trend with it. And I think there's a certain point where a player of his caliber has to demand a certain amount of respect. And the fact that he doesn't get that around the league, and even though he's playing bad, it's like he still shouldn't be being mocked across the league. And I think there's definitely a respect issue, and if there's an issue like that around the league, it's like players on their team are no dummies. It's like they're like, oh, our quarterback's a fraud.
Yeah. No, that's a good take because, I mean, nobody would mock Joe Burrow.
No.
Nobody would mock Patty Mahomes. And go down the list. I mean, even someone like Matt Stafford, who played badly this year, right?
Yeah. No. Goff. People don't even mock Jared Goff openly. It's not public. Yeah. It's not publicly shaming him, poking fun at him.
Yeah. And I think about maybe the same caliber of Matt Stafford, right? Nobody mocks Matt Stafford. And you can go down the list of quarterbacks in the league.
Even Cam. When Cam was really bad, players weren't mocking him.
No, people respected Cam. And, I go down the list of players, really, the only players that are really getting mocked nowadays is Russ and Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
And that's not a good class to be in. Deshaun Watson obviously deserves it for a number of reasons, but
he doesn't even get mocked though.
Well, what he's getting mocked for is something because he's a fucking criminal.
Yeah, he's a creep. He's a legitimate weirdo.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think about quarterbacks that have underperformed, like Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's not you don't have Justin Tucker making fun of Matt Ryan on a plane back home.
No.
Tannehill. So yeah, Tannehill. Derek Carr. Derek Carr struggled this season. Nobody's slandering. Well, the media's slandering.
The media will slander, and the media will always slander. But my thing is when active players in the NFL are openly mocking a guy, it's just something I don't. It's
it's unprecedented, to be completely honest.
Yeah, and players in his locker room, again, they're not stupid. That's going to bleed into your locker room, and they're going to feed around that, and they're friends with these people who are doing it as well. So it's like, yeah, Denver's going to implode, and everyone's going to want to leave there. No one's going to want to play with this guy. After this season, Russell Wilson pretty much destroyed any career he had left. But it doesn't matter because he's owed $240 million. So good for you, Russ, for getting your money. Pulling off a heist. I mean, that's a flat-out robbery that he pulled off.
$250 million. And he has ownership stake in that team.
I'm never going to hate on a guy for getting his money and some ownership stake. Like, props to Russ for the business side because he absolutely swindled them and duped the Broncos into giving him the worst deal in NFL history.